Every day, we all rely on its services. It provides answers to our most bizarre questions. You are watching this video on the company's video streaming platform. We're talking about Google, or more importantly, its bank busting Silicon Valley headquarters, a short walk from the San Francisco Bay Area and a stone's throw away from other multinational headquarters such as Apple Park and Facebook's home. eBay, Netflix owns the 26-acre site where GooglePlex is based in Mountain View. The name of the Google's headquarters is a play on words. It's clearly a combination of Google and complex but spelled differently. Googleplex. Googleplex is a huge number with a lot of zeros after it. The latter the latter explanation is most likely a reference to Google's global monopoly and incredible success. Silicon Graphics purchased the property. Jurassic Park's creators, famous dinosaurs, perhaps that's why a dinosaur still watches over the complex today. For the first time ever, Google did not move into buildings that had previously been occupied by previous tenants. This time, the multinational corporation took matters into its own hands and hired South African architect C.L. Wilson. When designing the massive Google complex, it was said that teamwork and creativity topped the mood boards in Wilson's office. Both firms collaborated to design a space that was not only set up to boost productivity but also workforce satisfaction. This can be seen with fun lava apps and even giant screens showing live Google search terms from This can be seen with fun lava apps and even giant screens showing live Google search terms from all around the world. A note to the company's most valuable asset, oversized whiteboards, as well as sun walls full of creative ideas and not so creative anonymous jokes. And many of the lobbies are home to work This can be seen with fun lava apps and even giant screens showing live Google search terms from around the world. A note to the company's most valuable asset, oversized whiteboards as well as sun walls full of creative ideas and so full of creative ideas and not so creative anonymous jokes. And many of the lobbies are home to welcoming pianos. The next musician who they asked to play an incredible amount of glass was used in the construction of Googleplex, which both natural light and offices are arranged in 3 or 4 person spaces. These small clusters are effective for sharing and developing ideas, but all these small clusters are effective for sharing and developing ideas, but are small and self-contained enough to reduce the load on Jetta. Google appears to have perfectly balanced the best of both worlds within Photos. Display workstations decked out in various Google and Android adornments. And based on what we've seen, they appear to be a hotbed of productivity. Employees are there to do their jobs, but the company does not want them to feel that way. Staff are treated as friends and have access to a vast array of facilities. An on-set gym is something we've all heard of. That is nothing new, but the company also provides a swimming pool. Pools for swimming. Yeah. These are intended to reduce the footprint required by allowing swimmers to swim against an artificially generated current. Various ping pong, billiards, foosball tables are dotted throughout the campus, along with spaces to kick balls are dotted throughout the campus, along with spaces to kick back and enjoy some video gaming. To Google even has its own self contained pods that employees use to kick back and relax or to go get away from the surrounding in order to get down to work on some heavy tasks. What about outside? After all, California is supposed to have some of the best weather in the world. Google has covered as well. Google has that covered as well. Tennis courts, soccer fields, and other recreational outdoors are Google has that covered as well. Tennis courts, soccer fields, and other Google has that covered as well. Tennis courts, soccer fields, and other recreational outdoors areas, frisbee games are completely free for staff to use. A network of private footpaths connects them all. A company subsidized massage service, the haircut salon, along with dread and dry cleaners, look after the health of the guests, and luxury is provided by a company. Subsidized massage service, the haircut salon, with dread and dry cleaners. The list goes on and on. Indeed, rumors has it, to avoid having to use their own machine, team members bring their laundry in over the weekend. The best part is that you have The best part is that you can travel between these amenities on Google colored bikes. It has even been reported that many employees are given a 20% cut of their work. It is time to focus on side projects that are unrelated to their regular workload, promoting an increase in creativity. According to Google, how many of its labs projects have been conceived? The Googleplex relied heavily on self sufficiency, however, not entirely. Some of the complexes energy needs are met by on site solar panels, which were carefully placed across the roofs of the buildings. Some of the fruits, vegetables, and herbs consumed in the company's cafeteria are grown in one of the parks. Two gardens that are accredited by an educational society, whose goal is to educate people about the benefits of horticulture. Many scientists and psychologists have weighed in on the advantage of getting outside for our mental health. And as one would expect from a tech giant, Google recognizes these benefits by strategically placing mindfulness spaces throughout the complex, utilizing spaces such as food garden and one pack food. Are you sitting down because this isn't for the faint of heart? Google provides food for its employees, and a lot of it is completely free. Employees can eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner for free at the site's various cafes, including Charlie's. The main cafeteria, named after Google's first executive chef, Charlie Nordes, restaurant emphasizes fresh, organic, and healthy food such as the butter ball and smashed avocado on toast that you see on Instagram. These are the types of meals that head chefs are creating. which include a fusion of foods from around the world. We imagine that a wide range of dietary requirements are taken into account when menus are planned at the Googleplex. But Google employees are real people. They aren't all robots, though. And like you and me, these real humans get hungry in between meals. The solution is that every single workspace is within walking distance to a snack group stocked with treats such as granola, candy, and hot and cold drinks. The novelty of regular eating out may have worn off for many of the company's more seasoned members of staff, but kitchenettes are always nearby with essential amenities like microwaves, kettles, and fridges, and an unwritten saying the company's workforce is the Google 15, which refers to the 15 pounds of weight that new starters frequently gain with all this free food. In fact, we don't know how much the company spends on campus food, but one blogger ran some calculations and came up with a figure of at least $72 million per year. Employees will most likely take a Y enabled diesel powered bus to and from the sprawling site. Other members may drive their own cars to one of the 2,000 underground parking spaces, or the staff may want to plug the electric cars into the PowerPoint supply and a solar panel topped carport. Visitors to the site will quickly notice the amusing elements that Google inserted here and there. The main outdoor area is populated by an army of Android statues, including a Kit Kat and a gingerbread man. To name a few, of course, the green Android character appears, as do various spin offs, such as the metal Android statue that appears on the upper floor of the Android buildings. How much did all this cost? The site alone cost the company approximately $1 billion. And this was the same year that the New York Chelsea market was purchased for $2.4 billion. Not to mention the enormous sums of money that will almost certainly be spent on food and other maintenance tax, and this works out to be one of the most expensive headquarters in the world. What do you think of Google's integration of home and work life? Would you work in one? Would you work in such a place with such credible benefits, or do you have Would you work in such a place with such credible benefits, or do you value your free time? One thing is certain, if nothing else, a visit to this location is worthwhile. In order to gain insight into what the future may hold, Mountain View, California is also a peaceful town. There is a technological center so well known you could Mountain View, California is a peaceful town. There is a technology center so well known you couldn't possibly overlook it. Even if the company tries to blend in and keep its head down, this is the Googleplex application. Google's artistic technology facility, on the other hand, the headquarters costs billions of dollars. The campus is very private. It's surrounded by trees, and no one is allowed to simply walk inside and take pictures. This campus, on the other hand, is a haven for employees with everything from yoga studios and swimming pools to glass offices. But what else is hidden on Google's campus, and how much money are they willing to spend on expanding their complex? Let's take a look around and see what makes Googleplex more than just an office. These technologically advanced headquarters have over 3.5 million square feet of office space. It is also the company's second largest complex, of Google buildings. It comes in right after Google's purchase of the 11th Avenue building in New York City for $1.9 billion in 2010. However, Googleplex is even more expensive than its New York counterpart, which is comprised of a number of sprawling structures, courtyards, and even sculpture gardens. The total cost of Google's investment in Mountain View properties is estimated to be around 3 billion. This includes all the costs. It's become well known for the intrigue It's become well known of the intriguing art that can be found throughout the property. There is an Android garden where you can find a statue of each version of Android, all of which are named after sweet treats such as Kit Kat Android, an ice cream sandwich Android. If that isn't enough representation for the Android brand, there is also massive Android statue peeking out on one of the buildings. Its eyes appear to glow red at night, which isn't at all creepy. Other eye catching decorations include the famous Google dinosaur statue filled with thrilling flamingos or a replica of a spaceship, as well as hundreds of busts and sculptures, all of which create the ideal environment for Google employees to take much needed outdoor breaks. These are these areas are ideal for catching up on news via your favorite newsletter, such as Morning Brew. They, Google is one of the best companies to look into further. So let's finally go inside Google Complex. The interior of the building is both technologically advanced and great marketing opportunity. The Google logo can be found almost anywhere, including vending machines and garbage cans. Anyone who takes a photograph in any of the buildings must have it approved before it can be published. The Google interior is easily recognized thanks to films like The Internship, but there is one architect who is responsible for the way Google Complex was designed. As earlier mentioned, the South African architect Wilkinson is the name. You could argue that Googleplex is the most impressive headquarters anytime soon, but it is not the most expensive. Apple has a $5 billion newly created headquarters. You can also watch our video on that subject. If you want to learn more, please subscribe and watch our Inside Companies video. Thank you for your time. We'll see you soon again. Again. Again.